In 1066, in the Battle of Hastings, the Normans won over the English and established them as the ruler of England. This was a very important battle. What happened and what can we learn from it?
Hastings took place near the town of Hastings in the south of England. It was fought between the Normans led by Duke William of Normandy and English led by King Harold. In the end, it was a decisive Norman victory.
The King of England, Edward the Confessor, had no heir. The Earl of Wessex, Godwin, was the most powerful man in England at that point. Wessex is a large area in the southwest of England. When Edward and Godwin died, Harold, the son of Godwin, began consolidating power in England. On the other side of the Channel, William, Duke of Normandy, claimed the English throne because Edward had promised it to him, and he was also a distant cousin of Edward. Up north, King Hardrada of Norway also claimed the throne because of an agreement with a Danish king from when the Danish used to control England. There was now a gap of power in the English monarchy, and three very powerful people wanted it.
After Edward's death, Harold crowned himself King of England. When William heard this, he began assembling his army to invade England. William was delayed because of southern blowing winds, while Hardrada used it to quickly get to England. Harold quickly marched north to meet the Norwegians. He surprised them and won the battle of Stamford Bridge. Then he marched south to meet the Normans.
Harold set his men up on Sunlight Hill. Most of them were infantry and less experienced. The Normans, however, had a mix of infantry, archers, and cavalry, and also had troops from all over northern France.
The Normans used their archers to shoot arrows at the English, but it had very little effect against their shield wall. Then they sent the infantry up the hill, hoping to break the shield wall, but they couldn't. Then they sent the cavalry, and they still couldn't break the wall. It looked like the English were going to win. Rumor spread about the death of William, and parts of his army began to retreat.
Sources say William took off his helmet and rode right back into the battle. The Normans, seeing their king, turned around and encircled the English. It's thought that Harold was shot in the eye by an arrow.
After the battle, the Normans continued to establish and ruin England. On Christmas Day of 1066, William was crowned king, and he proved to be an effective leader.
So that's the entire battle and the history behind it. But why was this battle so important?
The Battle of Hastings was very significant because it meant that the Normans took control of England, and it changed both English history and the history of Europe.
Of course, it changed the government and meant that the Normans were running the country. But it also changed the English language. For example, when cow was served as food, it would be called beef. It changed politics, and English were now better connected to the rest of Europe. The Normans built churches and castles all over England. It was so important that some genealogists believe that 25% of the English population is descended from William. People gave him the nickname William the Conqueror. There were also downsides to this battle, as expressed by William himself. The Battle of Hastings was recorded on a piece of tapestry called the Bayeux Tapestry, and it contains the historical evidence and lots of information about the battle. 4 years after the battle, Pope Alexander II ordered William to make a penance for the invasion. William built an abbey on the site of the battle known as Battle Abbey. Nowadays you can visit the site yourself. So what lessons can we learn from this?
The battle was really fascinating, and it was really important too. The Normans won because Harold's men were too eager to fight and overconfident from the previous battle. If this is true, we can take this as a lesson to not underestimate our enemy and be overconfident.
One more thing we could learn is that because the battle was really important, we should be careful in our decisions even if it seems small, and we should make wise decisions because it can change the outcome of something important. For example, Edward didn't have a successor and he promised the throne to 2 different people. You can already see that this could lead to lots of conflict, and it did lead to this conflict.
In conclusion, the Battle of Hastings had a large effect on history and was very consequential. We can learn to not underestimate our enemy and be overconfident. Instead, we should be humble and we should try to win with strategy and not mere strength. We can also be mindful about our decisions and understand that it can have major consequences.